Hello to you, beautiful Destiny Walkers, and to all of you who are joining us in on the Glow on some table chat on this motivational Monday to hear the words of God, to know what God is yet speaking through his people for us to empower and to share with one another on such a beautiful day. It's a rainy day here in Columbia, South Carolina, but yet it's a beautiful day because we have yet another chance to live, to work, to inspire, to reach goals and to reach our destiny in which God has outlined in his word. I want to take a few minutes on today on our table chat. What do we have that we're wanting to empower on today about? Well, on this Motivational Monday, I want to talk to you and ask you, who do you do it for? Who do you do it for? And we're going to take just a few moments and we're going to chat into that because it's a great question for you to ask yourself. Who am I doing this for? Am I doing it for self? Am I really in this game? Am I really in this to win it for myself? So let's look at the word of God and what the word of God tells us in 1 Corinthians 16 and 14. We know that we are encouraged by the word of God, and the word of God encourages us to remember that all we do should be done in love. Everything that we do should be done in love. God tells us that if our actions are not motivated by love, if what we're doing, if they're not motivated by love, then they are worthless. That's not what Lady Cook is saying. That's what the Bible is saying. And this is a great way to just kick off, this week, this motivational time that we're having here with some real talk, to be honest with one another. Who are you doing it for? Am I doing it love? Is love stemming from the actions of what I am purposing in my mind to set forth to do? And if not, guess what? It's worthless. It's in vain. Even if it appeared to be worthwhile for the time that you're doing it, it's fruitless. You have no fruit. There's no multiplication that will come for it. So, and that's what Paul was saying when we were looking at whatever you do, do it in love. What Paul is saying, what he was given, the instructions that he was given to the church in Corinth, he was giving them, some instructions to tell them, look, I know that problems is going to come. I know that problems will arise. We all have gone through some problems or going through some things that may have caused some major setbacks in your life, that may have caused you to stumble and fall. But he said, look, sometimes you got to lift yourself up. We lift ourselves up by staying in the mind frame and by staying in the mentality of, I have to finish this. I need to complete this. I need to do this in love. So let love be your motivating factor. Who are you doing it for? Why are you doing it? Let love drive those things. Let it be your driving factor when you're looking at what you're going to do. I posed a question to the support team in our chat on this morning. And the question, let me find the question here. The question that I asked them, I said, what are you willing to do for God? What are you willing to do for God and for the salvation of others this year? Let's talk about it. What are you willing to do for God? And what are you willing to do to make sure that we are advancing his kingdom this year? It's just a power question. It's just a power thought, something for you to ponder around on this Motivational Monday, for you to chat it out or write it out. I'm a big person, a journal person that loves to journal. I love to write out my thoughts and my thinking and where I'm going with things, how I'm grading myself. And we'll get to that in a few minutes, or we'll just jump on into it right now. Because one of the things that I noticed that, in my time, whether I'm, doing something, having a moment for me, or whether I'm driving down the road or just having a quiet time at my desk, I noticed that sometimes when I need to slow down, I know in my mind that I need to slow down. So in other words, I think it before I actually start to do it. Come on here. I think it before I start to do it. And so sometimes I have to tell myself, sit down, chill out, and relax. Trust God. You're trying to, you're overthinking it, or you're overworking yourself, or you're putting yourself into too much drama, if you will, to make it happen. And we can do that. So we've got to be sure that what we believe, that what we're doing, that we're doing it not just for show, if you will, not just for Facebook, not just for Instagram or Twitter or, all of those other social media outlets. We got to make sure that what we're doing, that we're doing it from pure intentions, from the heart of love, that we're doing it so that we want to, inspire others, take others, inspire others, take them on a journey in what you do, not by so much driving to make it, to make it appear as if it's some vainglorious thing that you have going on, but you want to make sure that what you're doing, that you are influencing others through the characteristics of Christ, by drawing others to Christ, by drawing others to the glory of God, and not making it so much about you and what you can do, but about what you are doing. Those things that you are doing, you're not doing for self. You're doing them out of love, and you're doing them so that you can be the extension of God's love and what he has given and called forth for you to do, to help and to impact love on the lives of others. That's how we do that thing. And so sometimes you have to tell yourself, slow down. Sit down, take a chill pill, relax, see what it is that God might be speaking into your heart for you to do on the season, and make sure that you're in love with it. Make sure that you love it. Make sure that you're doing it from a place of love and out of sincerity, because again, as the word tells us, it's fruitless. It's fruitless if it's not. So make sure that you are in tune with what God is telling you to put forth in this season. That's good right there. It was good for me. So I hope that it's blessing you and that it's good for you. And so here's just a few motivational tips that I jot down that I wanted to share with you today. I have a few motivational tips that I want you to jot down as well. I want you, and this is a quote that I read, that I saw it again. I've known that I've heard it, and I've known that, it was one that, really caused me to think when I read it. But it says, my main focus in this season, these are some motivational tips to help you stay focused in this season. So my main focus is to remain focused. Sometimes you gotta, really make that be the focal thing of your why, of what you're doing, or your drive of how can you remain focused? How can you stay in love? How can you stay in your love walk? How can you stay in your faith walk? So your main focus sometimes has to be to remain focused. Stay focused on what it is that God has given you and has placed in your life for you. That's the first thing. And then you have to see your future. You have to see yourself through faith-focused eyes. You got to see yourself the way that, that God sees things, the way that that you've put your trust into God, the way that that God is going to make room to allow things to happen for you in your life. So you have to see your future through faith-focused eyes. See your future through faith-focused eyes. And another thing is that you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to be alone, but make sure that what you are doing, or who you are leaning on, if you will, or moving forward in those to help you, so that, because sometimes on our journey, in our path, we will need a little help. And I'm not just talking about spiritual help, but I'm talking about among those who we serve with, who we work with, family members. We will need help from others, because it's, we need, everybody needs somebody. Okay. And I know we might want to think, well, I don't need you. And, I don't need this person to help me get to where, I'm going. God created us so that we could be and work and serve and live in community. So it's not a one man or a one woman show, if you will, but everybody needs somebody. But make sure that those that you are leaning on and depending on to help you maybe get over a hump or get around a barrier or something, make sure that those people that's in your circle are people that inspire you, that uplifts you and help you, that will push you to get over that hurdle, if you will. So make sure that your circle is inspirational. Make sure your circle is inspirational. And another thing is, you might want to remember just this little thing. As I was writing that out, the thought came to my mind that, listen, if the wind can change directions, come on here, somebody. Sometimes our goals will do the same. So we have to also just make sure you stay watchful in the direction in which things might be flowing in your life. So make decisions based on your vision and your goals and not people. Okay, I'm going to say that one again. Make sure that the decisions that you make are based on your vision and your goals and not people. These are just some tips that I'm giving to you to help you stay focused on this Motivational Monday. And then focus on the things that's inside your sphere. What are the things that you can control? Take advantage of those things. Take advantage of that and tie it to your motivation to help build your confidence. We sometimes can fall short. We fall short sometimes when we actually try to control the things that's outside of our, sphere, if you will, the things that we cannot control, such as, other people's reactions or other people's emotions. We can get tied up in that thing and try to control that thing. And you can send yourself into a stress whirlwind. But to eliminate that stress and to cut all of those things, from wrecking havoc, if you will, in your mind, just stop. Again, take that chill time to say, listen, this is not in my control. I don't have anything to do with it. It's outside of my circle, or it's outside of my sphere, if you will. And so those things, don't allow them to continue to penetrate, if you will, to penetrate your mind, to cause you to jump off focus on what you're supposed to do. Do what you are called to do. Do the things that you know God has gifted you, talented you, given you the ability to do, and watch those things start to manifest. Watch those things multiply in your life. Watch it multiply in your life. This is just a little table chat. But it's good talk for us, and it's real talk for us. We can avoid some of the things that hinder us and keep us from moving forward when we have our mind and our attention and our focus placed on side of those things that we have no control over, that we cannot control. We cannot control other people's emotions, other people's behaviors, and all of those things. Those things are outside of your sphere. So stop trying to control them. Work on what you have before you. I promise you, God has given every one of us some gifts, some talents, and abilities to go and reach the world. Yes, he's given us some talents and abilities and things that we have on the inside of us that will propel us to go out to reach the world. I have one more tip for you here. Break down your large goals into smaller tasks, into the smaller goals. There's nothing wrong with taking small steps, to get to the big picture, to get to that place, or to get to that picture that that God has showed you in a dream, or that you have sketched out from your imagination, onto your vision board, or wherever that picture plays a motion inside your mind repeatedly, time after time. If it's large, it may seem large right now, and it may take several small steps or leaps of faith, if you will, to reach those goals, but it's doable. It's doable because of the Word of God and what the Word of God tells us. He says that we can do all things through Christ. Nothing is impossible with God when we have faith and that we trust and that we believe that God will get us through those things and over and beyond. And what's waiting on the other side is that gratification of taking that leap of faith, of taking that step to move forward. So don't discount the small steps. They matter. Every one of your steps of faith, they matter towards what it is that you know that God has given to you for you to reach your destiny. So those are our motivational tips for this Monday. I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in for Table Chat, for motivational moments, tidbits on today. Continue to grow and glow in the things of God. Let your faith propel you and push you forward into your destiny. Until next time, glow big and remember that it is God who lights our way. God bless you. We love you.